Good morning, everybody. I am super excited to welcome everybody to the ribbon cutting for the Palmetto Marriott Resort and Spa. It's been a long time coming. You know, we started this project, and I started this project in January of 2023, and it really has been an amazing transition over the year. We are finally super close. We're several weeks away from welcoming our first guest, and we're super excited about that. For me, I want to thank just a few people, and I'm going to turn this over. But first and foremost, I want to thank my amazing staff, and I know they're all here. It's been a great month. We are officially, and I think we committed in my first speech I think we committed to about 200 full-time equivalent employees when we are matured, and I think we're 117 full-time employees right here in the city of Palmetto. And a lot of them live right here in the city of Palmetto, so we're super excited about that. To Mayor Shirley, thank you very much. To the city of Palmetto, Elliot Falcione, I know he's standing around here somewhere. He's going to make a grand entrance for sure. But Elliot and his team at the Bradenton Area Convention Center, what an amazing special project that you're going to have 252 amazing guest suites connected to an amazing convention center that's undergoing a $50 million renovation. So many amenities here, from our beach club, pickleball courts, to beach volleyball, 9-hole putting course, bourbon lounge, another restaurant across the street, Oyster River Rooftop, which is just going to be an extremely elevated raw bar, excellent restaurant on the rooftop, our restaurant on the ground floor, all our meeting space. The yard, I mean, you can see it's still under construction, but by the time we open, the stage will be there, everything will be there, a full amphitheater, and then an amazing spa that's going to be second to none in Manatee County. Tony DeRusso, the DeRusso family, Lee and Leslie Hancock, I know Lee's here somewhere, the Hancock family. I mean, for me personally, as a dream come true job, I cannot thank Tony and Lee and their families enough trusting me and welcoming me to this position and to this job. So Tony, Lee, DeRusso family, Hancock family, thank you so much. What an amazing project. I know Ambridge Hospitality, all the corporate support. I know we have a lot of corporate support here. Wes from the Hyatt Sarasota, thank you so much for all your support and help. Orkin, I know my boss is here somewhere. Orkin, I know he's around somewhere. Again, just want to thank everybody. What an amazing project. Again, we've been saying it for well over a year now. Our success is the community's success. For anybody that's here that are vendor of ours, we promise and committed we're going to hire in Palmetto. We're going to do business in Palmetto. There's so many vendors, so many stores, so many people that are here today that are living proof of what we're going to do. Our success is the community's success, and we're super excited about that. For now, I'm going to turn it over to, I got to tell you, the hardest working guy I've ever been around. I'd like to think I'm the hardest working guy, but not even close to the man, the vision, and the guy that keeps this project moving, Mr. Tony DeRusso.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I got to be honest with you, this moment is pretty surreal. Whew. I'm an emotional guy and I'm tired. Actually, last night I was up, I wrote a really long thing here, but I'm probably going to try and stay away from that for the most part and kind of speak more from my heart. Today's a special day. Lee and I have talked many times on the phone, and it starts off like this: today is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. This story is a story of faith. It's been a faith journey. Those of you, I see so many familiar faces and people that have been around on this. My wife and I were reflecting when this was a jungle, literally. Where we were standing right now was a jungle. And to get to where we are today, the amount of work, that not even me, all of you that are standing out here, all of the construction workers that have been here, then from the city to the county to the state. I mean, there's literally, I sat down to start writing people's names on who to thank, and it started off with dozens in my head, then it went to hundreds, and I literally think that there has been thousands and thousands of people who have contributed to this project in one way, shape, or form or another. It'd be absolutely impossible for me to stand up here and thank every single one of them. With that said, I do have a few people that I need to thank. And for those of you who have been around, I have to say this. I would like to thank God and Bob Gause. Bob Gause, yes sir, he deserves this. I'll be honest with you, there was a moment in time where that's really all this project was about, was me and Bob Gause. Before there was thousands of people, this man put on a lot of different hats. I asked him to do some things that aren't really typical for a landscape architect to do. But without him, without his, first of all, just his belief in this project, his belief in me and the company, but his friendship. When I would come here traveling from Northern California, he was my date night, not in a weird way. But when we got done with work, I'm like, well, what are you doing? You want to go to dinner? You want to go to a hockey game? And but those times I'll never forget them, Bob. And I thank you for everything. So. Next, obviously, I have to thank my family. I almost can't say the words. My wife is probably the most amazing person I've ever met in my entire life. The commitment that she has to me and to our family, and the sacrifice that she has made so selflessly and putting everything else aside is something that I can't even, words can't describe on what she has done and what she means to me. Jen. Yeah. And my boys, whew, this is tough. I am very tired. I almost pulled an all-nighter last night, I'm not gonna lie. Griffin, Heath, and Brooks, ask three boys to uproot themselves from a foundation that is a dream for a family to have in Northern California and come and move to a new city, in a new county, new state, new schools, knowing absolutely nobody. It's been, yeah. That's probably been the most difficult part. This has been a hard job. This project has been difficult with a lot of ups and downs. It's been a roller coaster ride like you can never even begin to explain. The hardest part for me personally is watching how hard it's been for my boys. Thank you for your sacrifice. I hope you see someday what it's about. Hopefully today helps. But I love you boys more than you know. Man, I'm a mess. I'm so sorry. I'm an emotional guy. Anybody who knows me, if I'm mad, you'll know it. If I'm sad, you'll know it. If I'm happy, you'll know it. It's just kind of the way that I've been wired. So, Lee Hancock. What can I say about Lee Hancock? There is nobody that I would rather have gone on this journey with than Lee Hancock. There are not a lot of men in this world that I look up to, and the way that I look up to this man, Lee Hancock, his faith, his love for his family, his commitment to always doing the right thing, the way he leads by service, And his undying commitment to always try and follow the Lord is something that I admire. And without Lee Hancock, we none of us would be standing here today. Him and his wife Leslie. Leslie, I know. First of all, I want you to know. I don't know how much you know this, but Lee loves you more than you could ever know. I've gotten to know Lee very, very closely. We talk on the phone almost every day. We've gotten to have a very intimate partnership, friendship, and relationship. And there is nobody on this life that Lee doesn't love more than you. And everything that he does is for you and your family. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for your support to him. I know this wholeheartedly. Behind every great man, there's an even greater woman. And so I know what you guys go through. Maybe not all of it, but I know it. I appreciate your sacrifice. I appreciate your love and commitment to this man. And I love you both wholeheartedly, and I will always be here for you guys. No matter what happens or where we go, I am here to serve you both forever. Okay. Yep. I'm getting there, guys. I'm sorry, actually. I'm talking more than I wrote, believe it or not. I'm sorry about that. I talk way too much. I'm going to try and narrow it down a little bit. The next person I really need to talk about is Elliot Falcione. I don't know where Elliot is. Is he hiding? He's going to make some grand entrance, I believe. I know Elliot. Where is Elliot? Where is Elliot? Okay, all right. Elliot's become my brother from another mother. It's also true, if it wasn't for Elliot, none of us would be here celebrating this moment today. When I first looked at this project, it's no secret that I was probably the biggest pessimist that a full-service hotel next to the Bradenton Area Convention in the city of Palmetto would work. I thought there was no shot. Fortunately, some people were smarter and they wanted me to come do a few things, spend some time in the community and meet many of you. But the most influential person that I met on that trip was Elliot. I will tell you right now, Manatee County, you have an amazing ambassador, leader. The heart and the dedication that he has put into this community is unlike anything that I've seen, and I've been fortunate enough to travel a little bit around this country. You are truly a local legend in my mind and in my heart, and I hope all of you that know Elliot can see him as that. Really, this project, to me, as I've learned and I've been kind of coming around the last several years, this is really kind of a culmination of the years and years of hard work, dedication, and commitment of Elliot. This would not be here without you. You are just as much a part of this as this. You are my family. You are my brother. I appreciate everything. I love you, man. Mayor Shirley Groover Bryant. Yeah. Your continued support through all the ups and downs on this roller coaster ride will never be forgotten. Watching you and your connection with this city has been a special thing for me to watch. You have handled your role with so much grace, kindness, and humility. Thank you for always supporting this project. Thank you for believing. Thank you for sticking up for it when it needed it most. You are always and always will be a very special person to this project. I have a great amount of respect for you, and I would like to publicly express my gratitude for your support and dedication to this project and to this city. Thank you. I said it's impossible to thank everybody. I have one more person I'm going to go into a little bit of detail on, and then I'm just going to read off a little bit of a list that I have to do. Greg Cascio. It's actually Ciaccio, but he introduces himself as Cascio. But if you're Italian, you know it's Ciaccio. All I can say is God knew what he was doing when he sent Greg to be the general manager of this project. He came in here with a pretty tall order. I will tell you, there are a lot of high expectations for this property. We are committed to being a leader in the market on everything that we do. Those were some of the early conversations that we talked about. And there is nobody better that understands how to actually make that happen. It is not easy to strive to be the best at everything that you do. Our goal with this project is have the best valet, the best front desk, the best housekeeping, the best food and beverage, the best sales team, the best, I'm probably leaving hundreds and hundreds of people out of this, but our goal is to be the best at everything that we do. And it starts with Greg, and it goes down to the rest of our leadership team. The win mentality that you guys demonstrate, I'm blown away. You guys know that behind the scenes, those are actually the real heroes of this project. The people that are cleaning the windows behind the scenes, that aren't standing up here speaking. And again, I have to recognize the construction workers. I know we're late, but they've been working tirelessly at getting this job done, and I will never forget all of you for all your work and efforts. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. I'd like to thank Senator Jim Boyd. You have been here since the very beginning. Your voice for this community and the region is strong and powerful and carries a lot of weight. Thank you for always being a friend of our project. Thank you. We have the current city commissioners from the city of Palmetto. Thank you, guys. I know I've been in your room probably far too many times. I'm actually, believe it or not done yet. Probably still gonna have to come and see you on a few things. Thank you for challenging me. Thank you for challenging my design team. Thank you for making sure that we're thinking things out. We want to know that we appreciate your service to this city. I see what you guys have to put up with on some of those meetings on Wednesday and Monday nights. I've seen and been a part of a lot of that. So it's not something that goes unnoticed, and I see it as absolutely an act of service. And so on behalf of the entire city and the community, thank you for your service. Also, the Board of County Commissioners. I know we have a few representatives here, current and past. I saw Commissioner Cruz was here. I don't know, he was here, maybe he left. Here he is, here's Commissioner Cruz. Thank you, Commissioner Cruz. You were a vital part of getting a lot of things to happen, not only for this hotel, but also for the convention center. I saw a few past commissioners as well, Carol Whitmore, Reggie Bellamy. Thank you guys for even 7 years ago when we were coming and you were looking at a scrappy development team from Northern California and said, well, let's take a shot on them. And look at where we are today. So it wouldn't be here without your early influence and your early support of this project to help us get through what we got to. And most importantly, County, thank you so much for what you're doing to this convention center. I heard the direct words from that Board of County Commissioners is their goal is to match the Marriott Resort and Spa. Who has a convention center in the city, in the county, that is being designed to be an elevated experience to match the Marriott Resort and Spa? So thank you, commissioners. All right, I'm going to try and get through a list. Staff of the city of Palmetto: Mo, Jim, Mr. Barnaby, Chief Tyler, Ed Johnson, Matt Bloom, Kira Hill, Jake Bibler, Steve Spangler. Shout out to everybody from the Bradenton Area Convention Center. Thank you for always treating me like one of you. You will always be an extension of our family. North River Fire District: Joe Sickling, Andrell Miller, Bob Talise, Inspector Price. Centennial Bank: special thanks to my friend Jeff Wooden. Jeff Wooden stepped up at a time that not everybody else would. Let me tell you, the most difficult thing I ever did in my entire career was trying to find a construction loan for a headquarter hotel next to a convention center in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. Jeff Wooden got the vision. He saw it. He knew this community. He knew it well, and he stepped up. And Jeff, I will never forget you for that. Anybody who needs a construction loan, he's the guy. Also with Centennial, Tyrone Shin, who's also here, David Drury, Kevin Hester, and it would be a shame for me not to mention Chris Klapsa, who's an absolute rock star from your team. CCDI, Marshall Morrison, Tommy Colifer. Aimbridge Hospitality. There's too many names here to mention, but I have to say Orkin, Al Ferry, Paul Lynch, Doug Elfman, and I cannot forget Ed Blum. Ed Blum is a dear friend of mine that, I'll be honest with you, we would not be here without the faith and the support of Ed Blum. I mentioned we were a scrappy development team from Northern California going through a bunch of ups and downs, but without having his partnership of the largest hotel management company in the world at a time where it looked like this project might be in jeopardy. Without him, we would most definitely not be sitting here. We're so proud to have Aimbridge Hospitality. They're not only the largest hotel management company in the world, they're the best. So thank you all for your support. Marriott International, Richard Vayu, thank you for stepping out and believing in us and designating us as a resort and spa. Being a one-of-a-kind property, we are literally defining a space in the hospitality industry, and the Director of Full Service Brands with Marriott International, Richard Vayu, is a big part of that. Also with Marriott, we have to take time to thank Dave Morton, Gabrielle Callanan, Dave Pullen, Will Wolfer, Justin Morgan, Ashley Bartlett, and a host of associates at Marriott. CBRE, Mark Wilson and Steve Schroep, wouldn't be here without you. Sandvik Architects. This is our ship on land. I believe these architects deserve an award. They were very, very creative. I'll tell you all a story another day on the design narrative, but they did a phenomenal job with this building. HBA, Sawyer Architects. Their interior works here are second to none. Maya and Viviana. Ardura, Nicole Lynn, Brian Ballingy, the Nest Group, Chance, William, and Marion. Lima Construction. It's been a long road. The building is getting there. Roddy, Anthony, Carlos, thank you very much for your work. All the subs, Bates, Bluefin, Ackerman, A-Rock, Central Florida Landscape, Custom Brick Pavers, Torres Flooring, Fine Line Construction, Morrow, Premier Wall Systems, Action Wall Covering, National Landscape, Gulf Coast Luxury Builders. Watching you build the spa and the beach club has been so amazing. Matt Knopp from Stewart Tennis. Whew. You came in at right the time, buddy. I will never forget what you've done on this project in this last minutes here. Thank you for stepping up. South Shore Construction, Rudy Martinez. I'm forgetting a lot, so I'm going to stop. I've probably been talking up here for way too long. But most importantly, to the staff of the Marriott Resort and Spa. This started, the staff really started, the culture started in a meeting room, really a locker room between myself, Greg, Scott Selvaggi, our Director of Sales, the best Director of Sales on the west coast of Florida, and Christian Kraus, who is the best utility knife any organization could ever have. You guys, I'm never gonna forget our days sitting in those locker rooms and defining who we are as a property. So thank you guys. And to the rest of our staff, I see your tireless efforts with your win mentality, whatever is necessary. I see people doing tasks and things that should never fall in any job duty or job description. They're going well out of their way to do whatever is necessary to get the job done and to help make the customer service experience the best that they possibly can. We do have the best hospitality team on the west coast of Florida, and I can't wait for all of you to see it and experience it and tell everybody about it. So with that, I don't know who was next. Are we introducing Mayor Shirley Gruber Bryant? If you could please say a few words. Thank you.
I'm going to adjust these down just a tad. Are we good? Can you hear me? I'm not going to make a long speech, even though most of you that know me know that I would be in my role to do that and kind of in my personality, but I'm not going to do that. I just want to touch on a couple of things. Years ago, when State Representative Ralph Haben brought the money home for the convention center, it has always, from day one, been the dream of Manatee County and the city of Palmetto that there be also the anchor of an ancillary hotel to support the convention center. So today, I'm not going to get emotional. I just refuse to, but it is such a long time coming, and I would not begin to even try and list all the people, because there's an awful lot that even Tony missed, if you can believe it. But there are so many that came together to work to make sure that this actually happened right here in the great city of Palmetto, the Palmetto Marriott. And we're extremely proud of that. And we think it is a turning point for the city and really the anchor for future redevelopment to really make Palmetto shine and make people realize what a wonderful place it is to live, work, and play. And with that, I'll say God bless here, and I can't help it. God bless the USA.
Good morning. I'm Senator Jim Boyd, and this happens to be right in the heart of our Senate district. And I'm going to be somewhere between Mayor Gruver Bryant's comments and Tony's. So, no, I'm just kidding. I won't be, but just a second. I just want to say, to kind of take off a little bit on the mayor's point, I grew up in Palmetto, and I remember when this property and all around it, Riviera Dunes and everything else, were just pits and holes and everything else. And no one back then, and I'm a lot older than most of you, I realize, but nobody back then thought this would ever be anything. And so today, to stand here in this grand celebration of a beautiful hotel, resort, and spa in the city of Palmetto just brings a lot of joy to a lot of our hearts. I was on the city council about 30-something years ago, and we tried like heck to get a hotel to come and join us here. That was right after the Civic Center was getting going. It just couldn't happen. It just didn't happen. We didn't have the right people. We didn't have the right vision, I guess, perhaps, but we tried and tried. And so, Mayor, congratulations, you've done it. The jobs, the impact in our community, the impact for our state, we are all grateful as elected officials that represent you for what you are doing, Tony and Greg and Bill and family and friends and associates here, for what you're bringing to this great city. It's going to be so much fun to watch it grow and to prosper. And I will just finally say this. We ate here a couple weeks ago for the 100 Club dinner, and the meal was phenomenal. And I was complimenting Tony again today about that, and he said, that's just the beginning. It's only going up from there. So I can't wait to see what you all are going to do. I look forward to being part of it. Glad everybody here came to celebrate this grand success for our community. Thank you all so much for investing in us. Wait a minute. I get to introduce Elliot, the man, the myth, the legend.
No,
Say no more.
No, thank you. He's fabricating everything. No better character guy that we all know than Senator Jim Boyd. He's as real as it gets. Good morning, everybody. I am the guy named Elliot. Let's just go over some names here. Felcioni, DeRusso, Ciaccio, Savacci. We may become the Corleones. Who knows? 1985, January, that adjacent building opened up as the Manatee Civic Center. And yes, thank you, Ralph Haben, for getting the governor to sign a grant that we never had debt service. Shortly after that time, there was a publication that announced that the Manatee Civic Center was going to get an adjacent Holiday Inn hotel. Guess what? That was 41 years ago, if my math is accurate. It was a blessing in disguise that we didn't get it, because where would we be over those years? No disrespect to Holiday Inn, but it was a Holiday Inn. Is IHG here right now? And I'm trying to drag this along so we can just go right into happy hour. So it's Tony's budget, not mine. You know, yes, patience, but the patience was rewarding to a hotel that without Lee Hancock and Leslie and Tony DeRusso and Jennifer DeRusso, I can promise you we're not standing here today. We're definitely not standing here with a Marriott hotel. We're not standing here with a Marriott Resort and Spa. The second on the west coast of Florida, the other one being Sanibel Island. It's not happening, folks. We're probably sitting here with a limited service hotel attached to the convention center. Please know that. If there are individuals that are taking risk, they're right behind me here. They got all the risk. We as a community got all the reward. Okay? Yes, thank you. I feel like a Baptist minister. Want to acknowledge Tourist Development Council. They are advisors to the Board of County Commissioners. They advise me more. Eric Karen, Cedar Cove. Eric, raise your hand, you humble guy. Right here, Dave Wick, right behind him, the shady guy in the glasses. He is part Italian as well. thank you both for being here. Mayor, where's Mayor Gene Braun on our Tourist Development Council as well? He's big part of the connection of this urban core. Let's just cut down to what this project means. First, the convention center expansion and renovation. I can't thank the Board of County Commissioners enough. We've got Reggie Bellamy and Carol Whitmore here. It's the biggest capital improvement project in the history of collecting the tourism tax in Manatee County. And I got to tell you, it was the easiest $48 million that I ever got approved under my watch as the tourism director. Because Tony DeRusso, who is the most relentless human being that I've ever met, I got to digress from here. He's ultra competitive. He's got drive like never before. Staff will tell you that we're known when Tony comes into my office, we hear an uh-oh because we're probably yelling at each other 15 minutes later where the office is closing the door because we're fighting for the greater good. And then we say we love each other and we hug each other. But I drove him crazy because I stepped foot in this hotel for the first time 3 weeks ago. And it was driving Tony crazy that I wouldn't come in. And I said, you haven't earned the right for me to come into your hotel yet. And it drove him more crazy, but more passionate. And then I reminded him that he never built a hotel before. And his ultra competitive mindset just drove him more crazy. Where poor Lee was like, Elliot, take it easy on him. He's a really good guy. I said, I know. But you know what the end result is when you walk through these doors, it's something awfully special. But the Board of County Commissioners, current and previous, in the Tourist Development Council, I'm nobody special. You all know that. And it's great to see a lot of friends. I'm just playing my role, what I'm supposed to do. Any tourism director is supposed to do the job to showcase the characteristics of a community, to give case study and analytics so a developer can make up their responsible decision, period. It's as simple as that. Anything less, I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. But where we're unique compared to most other counties, governments, is God bless the Board of County Commissioners and the TDC because they've empowered our department to take risk, to be bold, to don't be afraid of failure, and just go get it done. And they've allowed us to do it, knowing what the deal is, hold me accountable when we fall short. I'll take that deal all day long, and we have a competitive advantage over other coastal counties in this Florida. Moving forward, this hotel, I share with Mayor Bryant. So we collected almost $31 million in tourism tax proceeds in 2023. How much did the city of Palmetto collect in 2023? Y'all ready for this? $40,000 out of $31 million. I call that an opportunity. I see Commissioner Bellamy smiling because you know what? It doesn't get any more real than that. This hotel in one full calendar year is going to generate $5 to $7 million in tourism tax generation. More so, $48 million in capital improvements for the convention center. The board and the community is going to see a return of the investment in the $30 to $40 million a year average annually. Is that a good investment? Absolutely. We will do our job to bring first-time visitors, first-time corporate visitors to this beautiful urban core. It's going to feed the urban core so it can continue to redevelop. The future of tourism is in the urban core and the evolution, that little community called Lakewood Ranch out in East County. That's our future, okay? So if we can invest tourism tax proceeds while at the same time creating assets that serve the residents at no cost to the residents, that enhance the quality of life for the residents that live here, then we and the Board of County Commissioners have done our job. We're getting closer to happy hour, Tony. Tony DeRusso, I've already articulated, one of the most passionate, he is my brother, one of the most passionate guys, ultra competitive. He got us there, especially the resort and spa designation. But I got to mention this guy named Lee Hancock. We were both left-handed pitchers playing baseball. One was better than the other. I know y'all are looking at me being the better one, but I think Lee was better than me. Small world, he pitched for the Pirates when I worked for the Pirates. I think he had me carry his bags back in the day. But I'll tell you what, Leslie, I love you dearly. I joke that Leslie likes me more than Lee. You're a beautiful person. I don't want to embarrass Lee. If I'm a third of the character of Lee Hancock, I'm a great and godly man. He's just an incredible human being, and to have him and his family do business in our community is pretty special. And what we need to do beyond that is we need to give back. This was a gift, folks. I urge you today, the work has just begun. The challenge has just begun. We're on our way, folks. We can't stop here. Give us a task force. We need Palmetto officials. We need more TDC. We need more county commissioners. We need grants writers to continue to redevelop this urban core. We need curb appeal. We can't wait 41 years. We got to move forward right now, keep it a high priority, find balance, maintain the history of the natives that grew up here. We want to protect that. We want to enhance it. But we can't stop here. If we stop and think we're done, the competitive set will beat us all day long. So if you take anything away from my few thoughts, is let's get on the pedal and see what we can get done in the next year, in the next 5 years. Let's come up with master plans and have a lot of fun and smile. I come to work because of you all. The camaraderie is what drives me to come to work. I always look at myself in the mirror to say, am I still creative enough today moving forward than I have been in the past? I think I got some juices left in me, and I'm blessed to have really, really intelligent people around me. Dr. Jihan Chobanuglu, the Dean of University of South Florida School of Hospitality and Leadership, flew in here to make sure he was here. He is bringing us future employees, and Jihan, I love you, and thank you for being here. He's contracted with us and the Marriott as well. I'm going to go ahead and wind it up. Thank you so much for being here. Please, let's get on the pedal. Let's go after the future while maintaining balance, and let's make sure the most important thing we can do is don't ever assume that people understand how we redevelop a city. We have to educate and educate and educate, and if we do that, things will get done. Thank you so much.
Well, this is not my favorite part right here. I am not as gifted as the rest of these guys speaking, but it goes without saying. So much has been said, and I see so many familiar faces, and I can't thank everybody enough for just being here and having so many thanks and tributes to the people that have committed to this project. I'm going to try to stay on this so that I'll be talking about squirrels if I get off of this, but we just want to thank you for being part of this celebration. It is, like Elliot and Tony said, just the beginning, and we will continue to need all of your support. I do want to thank, this has been a faith journey, as Tony shared, for he and I both, and it was ironic. We were from Northern California, and he said, hey, I'm looking at a piece of property out in the central coast of Florida there, and Palmetto and Bradenton. You ever heard of it? And so we were fortunate, Leslie and I. We're here for 1990 to 96, doing spring training just down the street. So it had changed quite a bit since we had come back here, but what a project, what an opportunity. And I do remember this, if you guys, all you people that have been here, that there was nothing but a swamp here, and there's something that Tony can't do, and that's fight alligators or something, because he is afraid deathly, and he would never come in here until they knocked it all down. So I do want to thank the Lord for taking us through this journey. There's a verse in the Bible that says, "Consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know the testing of your faith will develop perseverance." And we have persevered with God's help, and it's not over, not over by a long shot yet, and we've had to cling to those things along the way. I want to thank my beautiful wife, Leslie.
Don't make me cry.
I know. Tony got me earlier too, and it has been an amazing journey, one that I know that I've drug you on, kicking and screaming. Yes, and I know that the start is just here, but I owe you a lot. So
I know.
that is going to be for sure.
Love you.
I love you, hon. And then I'm going to try not to be up here as long as Tony and Elliot. So, and I think back when we first flew out here, meeting with Elliot and his team, and spending time in the sunroom, and hashing things out, arguing, fighting, negotiating. How many free conventions we get over there? 18. We're at 18 now. Yes, but. City and county, you have an amazing gift in Elliot Falcione. He is the reason for the enthusiasm that got Leslie and I on board, and with Tony being on board, with knowing that Elliot was here pushing just the whole agenda of bringing this together. I'm going to forget so many people along the way here. It's so great to see the commissioners here, and Mayor Shirley, got to meet her like right off the bat, and just the champions you guys have been for this project in this area. We hope that it will repay the city greatly, and they have you to thank for your support of making this through. I see Reggie out there, and the rest of the county guys have just been amazing. Leslie and I got to go around and meet so many of you, and just the support of what's happening here is truly humbling, and we're amazingly grateful. In the middle of COVID, we originally kind of had this project together at some level with the bank, and then COVID happened and everything had died. And then we had come back, and did I miss Jeff here? Anyways, we did this little thing trying to get some support, and it was like this big Zoom thing, and Jeff Wooten from Centennial Bank was on, and we were like hoping maybe to get a bunch of banks to be involved. And within 5 minutes, I want it all. We want to do all the loan on this bank. And Tyrone is here from Centennial Bank, and also Petros Bank have been just an amazing support for this project, and have been out there and when nobody else would do it. I didn't know Bob Goss, but I'd heard thank God for Bob Goss so many times from Tony, and him explaining how he has literally been the jack of all and been out in front of this project and helping us at every commissioner meeting and politicking and the like. I want to thank Ambridge. When we were looking for the general manager, that was a big choice, and we had a tough decision here to make with that. And but Greg has been a true answer to prayer, and your family, your commitment. We talked about it before. I'm not usually in on these, but it's not uncommon for me to see texts, or not texts, but emails. It's California time, but at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, because these guys are going at it and are so committed to this project right here, and I'm forever grateful. Marriott, I want to mention Lima Construction. They've all been here, and we've had our battles along the way with getting to where we're at, but we are grateful for their effort. The DeRusso Five, and listening to Tony share. I'm not going to cry. I'm going to hopefully not, anyways. But it didn't get lost with me, the sacrifice that you guys made, uprooting everything that you had to come out here and support your dad. And I'm sure you still don't understand it. And like he said, hopefully this is the start of getting that. And I know God has a plan and a path that we don't always understand sometimes, but I'm just grateful for you guys and your support with this. And the whole family came out too, with Jen's family, and we're just grateful for the commitment of the people that have supported us in going forward here. Okay. Okay, so Tony DeRusso. All right. So I wish I had better words. I was telling him before that, or I told him a while ago, I really didn't know he was this good. I was telling Leslie this. You know, his commitment, drive, his intelligence, as Elliot said, his competitive nature is why this is here today. There's been so many lines of, oh, we wouldn't be here if this happened. There wouldn't be a dream. We wouldn't have never started here without Tony DeRusso. It took a Tony DeRusso to do this project. He and I have prayed mightily over this project before, when it was still a jungle here, trying to find out the direction that we should go. It's going to continue to be a fight for Tony here as we finish this up and start seeing people coming in and renting rooms, fighting through COVID, a brand change, creating a beach club and a spa through wild inflation that everybody here's had to go through. But you fought the good fight and you stayed on course, and you should be extremely proud. And I'm grateful. But truly, your brotherhood and commitment to Jesus is really why we're here. You're a mentor to me, and our praying over this project will be something I'm just never going to forget. And I just want to wrap up. I was looking up last night because Tony is always talking to me about hospitality and our opportunity to serve people. And service is something that is in my heart. Hospitality is actually mentioned in the Bible 8 different times. And so our hope and our prayer is that when people come to the Palmetto Marriott Resort and Spa, that you will feel like you were treated with hospitality. Thank you so much for supporting us all and being here. We're forever grateful. Thank you.
Well, in short, they're gaining an asset of a 4-star plus Marriott Resort and Spa, and in about a year, a convention center that'll be totally renovated and expanded, and the residents need to know it's at no cost to the residents. So it'll enhance their quality of life at the cost of the tourists, the tourism tax that's collected on a short-term rental. Well, we thought for many years the market just wasn't ripe enough to warrant a full-service hotel. The urban core was needed some redeveloping, but you know, with the new leadership of both cities, we saw redeveloping occur. We thought the market was ripe. We went out for procurement, and we found Tony DeRusso, who brought us with Lee Hancock a 4-star plus, $110 million hotel that'll be our headquarters hotel. That'll generate about $30 to $40 million a year to the local economy. Tourism tax, this hotel will generate about $6 to $7 million a year in tourism tax, about $12 to $14 million in sales tax that actually provides, helps feed the community services that once again enhance the quality of life for the residents. But remember, it takes more than residents to support your local economy. Especially we have a lot of boutique shops, ma and pa restaurants, and if it was just the residents that were partaking, one adversarial occurrence will kill them. But you're looking at a county that in 2020, because our leadership created assets that diversify our business in the marketplace, we were only 10% down in visitation in 2020. You can match that up with any other coastal destination, and we're probably the leader in that area. Well, curb appeal is first and foremost all along the urban core, Palmetto to Bradenton to even to Sarasota Bradenton International Airport. We have such a beautiful community. The low-hanging fruit is the curb appeal, so we're going to be looking for some landscape grants, looking for some partners. Number two, case study will tell you is once a hotel goes up in a new corridor, pretty much in 3 to 5 years you'll see a second hotel. So I would expect as we stand here today to have a limited service type of hotel in this corridor. There's some land available, so we're talking to some private developers that may build some additional retail, some additional restaurants. We're working on the water ferry coming over to the convention center. Charles, imagine you're going to a convention and your family says, hey, we're going to take a day trip out to the island via the water ferry. Once again, it's something that's not of the norm, so we're kind of unique destination when it comes to convention locations, and we're just happy to get it rolling. Yeah, it is needed. It is a step in the right direction. If the community wants to see their cities that they love, that they were born, they were raised, go through a redevelopment process while enhancing the historical aspects of the communities, the characteristics, it's so important. We don't want to take anybody's city. We want to stand by them and say, hey, how can we make it better? How can it remain your city while we bring in out-of-town revenues to feed it in good times and in bad? And at the end of the day, that's it. A corporate visitor to the Bradenton area, third-party research will tell you that 74% of them that come for the first time are likely to return for vacation within 12 months. So there's a domino effect over and above the 30 to 40 million annually that this convention center and hotel is going to generate. It makes it really, really excited. And let's keep things real. Let's not get out in front of us. We got to continue to educate. We got to continue to not assume and just be real. And you got to earn the respect. You got to earn to be trustworthy. And if we can just keep that kind of focus, I'm excited about the next few years. Well, thank you. And the top is our elected officials, county administration, Tourist Development Council has been just so grateful to me. The county has been, I don't deserve what I'm getting from the community, what I'm getting from the county. I still have drive, surrounded by a lot of great talent. We just need to all hold hands together, seek balance, stay humble, and start checking those boxes. I mentioned I was in the hotel for the first time ever 3 weeks ago. It's a special place, so for those who haven't been here, come on over. The 8th floor restaurant is, the views are spectacular. The food will even be better.
I think this is a game changer for Palmetto and Manatee County as a whole. Now this will be a destination. With the convention center we have right now and the resort and spa, we have now elevated the experience that guests, businesses can have and be able to plan greater events here, bring their people here, and once we've brought them here and see the rest of what this community can offer, they'll want to move their businesses here, move their families here, and have a greater asset to the community. The growth that this will provide is more than we could ever imagine even today. I don't want the community to know how much this has been a blood, sweat, and tears of vision from Tony DeRusso and from Elliot Falcone and the leadership of the Manatee County Board of Governors, leadership of the city of Palmetto that saw something that we can build here today that will pay dividends for decades to come and that will elevate the experience of all the people who live in Manatee County. I think it's been one of the things that this community has been missing for quite a while. We haven't had a grand meeting space that we could hold our large events. Most of the large events been happening down in Sarasota or even in Tampa because there just wasn't the space. There wasn't the venue to hold it now. Now we're able to elevate that, and so the grand events that we need to have in Manatee County can occur in Manatee County. We're not going to spaces in Sarasota to do it. As a person that's been to a lot of Marriotts around the country and traveled around, this is 5 stars. This is absolutely one of the most beautiful hotels you're ever going to be a part of and resort. This is not something that is good for Palmetto. It's good for the country. This is a great facility, and it's going to be 5 stars wherever you want to go. And so, whenever you're planning your next event, your corporate retreat, your next convention, please consider Palmetto Marriott Resort Hotels.
This is such a huge development for the city of Palmetto and everything north of the river. It represents a huge investment by the county in this area, and I think it shows that Palmetto is ready for development. Sure. So in Palmetto, there is huge opportunity for development at this point. As one of our speakers said today, out of our tourist development tax, only $40,000 came from the city of Palmetto. And so what we see, we don't see that as a bad thing. We see that as something that we can expand on. And so having this hotel, not only just a hotel, but a resort and spa, is going to draw in so many business and leisure tourists that we'll see expansion from restaurants, from stores, all kinds of tourism in the area. So it's really exciting. It sure is. And so we knew that making this large investment in improving the convention center and really getting it up to the level to pull in those really big, great conventions, we knew that it would have a great return on investment. And we're going to be working hard to make sure that that all of those associations and businesses know that this is the place to come for your conventions. It is going to be huge for the convention center. And I think it was a little bit more of an initial investment to really get it up to that level that this hotel and resort and spa is. But I think it's going to be a great return on investment because we're really going to be able to pull in excellent business travel that maybe we wouldn't if we didn't get that convention center up to the beautiful level that this hotel is at. So I think not only just Manatee County, but specifically District 2, this represents an amazing development. So for many, many years, I think residents of District 2 felt a little bit left behind, a little bit forgotten. $48 million in investment in this convention center and in the hotel. It really shows that District 2 is not being left behind, that we're making sure that the improvements that we're seeing out east and that we've seen in the coastal areas for many years, that those are also being seen here in Palmetto as well as Bradenton.
Well, I think I mentioned earlier, it started with an introduction from Starwood Hotels, that they thought it'd be a project that would make sense for our development and investment company to come look into. It was my job to start doing the research online from my desktop in Northern California. It took me less than an hour to decide that it wasn't worth a plane ride out here originally. But fortunately, there were people a lot smarter than me that said they wanted me to come and try and get engrossed into everything that's going on here in not just the city of Palmetto, the city of Bradenton, but Manatee County, Anna Maria Island, and thank goodness that I did, because that first trip that I spent here, I was here for about a week. I was able to experience the sugar white sands of Anna Maria Island. I was able to meet Elliot Falcione. I was able to meet IMG Academy, It Works, Feld Entertainment, Tropicana Orange Juice. The list goes on and on and on and on of the significant amount of organizations, associations that are right here in the heart, the urban core of Manatee County, that they didn't have a full-service hotel. Thank you. We appreciate that. And we have, since the very beginning, we've known that we needed to separate ourselves. And we needed to create a destination here on the west coast of Florida. In order to create that destination, we had to come up with one mindset. And that's to be a leader in everything that we do. And it did start, you're right, with our architects and the design. But then it got far more in detail when we started getting into the programming that you mentioned about all the different amenities that we have to offer here, from our outdoor event plaza, the Yard, for our Oyster River rooftop restaurant. We have the beach club. We've got a beautiful revived spa, massive fitness center, 2 resort-style pools, a fitness pool. I mean, we can go down the list of the amount of amenities that we've had to add to help us create that leisure destination here on the west coast of Florida. That is absolutely our mission, is the best service possible. And really the way to achieve that is by a heart of service and hospitality. We're going to look to in every area that we can to put our guests first, and that we are literally here to serve them in everything that we do. So not only with that heart of service, but also with the actual, like we said, the programming. I don't know if you had a chance to go in and experience any of that food and beverage. We have a white chocolate dragon breathing fire. We have ice sculpture sculptures of boats and champagne flutes turning in, pouring champagne into your flutes.
Wow.
It's just a taste. And our culinary team is literally second to none, and that will be our identity at this property here, because everybody eats, everybody likes to drink, and when we do that, that experience that our guests will have here will be second to none. It is. I mean, I think Elliot and I both know, we've done a lot of studies together to try and figure out the full economic impact.
Mm-hmm.
We've had third-party studies. I think you heard Elliot mention somewhere of the $30 to $40 million a year return on investment for Manatee County. Those are real numbers, but it's even more than that. It's an asset in the community that some of the partners that we talked about with It Works Feld Entertainment, IMG Academy, we're an extension of them and their family, and what we're bringing is to help them in their businesses. When they have associates come and visit them, it's a massive impact, but then it goes so much deeper than that, the jobs. And really creating a destination for people to, as Mayor Bryant said, to live, to work, and to play. I know that that's really the mindset of a lot of cities and communities, but without an asset like this, the city of Palmetto and really, the surrounding Bradenton area, you have a void. There's a void in the tool belt, so to speak. So it's accomplishing a lot of needs in the community. Yeah, definitely a great team, and I'd be remiss to not make it about a faith journey, because ultimately I cannot take the credit. It is literally our faith. By an act of submission, by prayer and petition, we submit our request before God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. And that's a memory verse from my partner Lee and I that we've had to draw on through a lot of trials and tribulations. You mentioned it. It has been a roller coaster ride. This has taken a long time to turn this from a jungle into what you see today. And from public-private partnerships that didn't work out, to COVID, to material shortages, to labor shortages, to insane inflation, wetlands mitigation. I mean, I can continue to go down the list of all the trials and obstacles that we have come across. But literally having that mindset of surrender, and it's not really ours, it's what he wants to do with it, is literally the motivation and the determination that I was given to help be the leader here on the ground to help make this happen. Well, first of all, as a resident of the city of Palmetto, I think we should all be happy about what it is that we are bringing into this community. I want all of you to look at this property as an extension. It's yours as well. It's yours to use. You can come eat in our restaurants. We can, obviously, we'd like to work with you on having guests when they come and visit. You will always be special people as being residents in the same city that we live in. We want you to come here. We want you to experience it. We want you to claim it as your own. And I'm going to need your help here because we have more to do after this hotel. If this hotel does well, we'll continue to do more, to continue to enhance this community, to continue to elevate this community, and to really truly strive to do what the mayor talked about. This is make this one of the best places to live, to work, and to play, centrally located on the west coast of Florida.
Thank you.